from Practical Business Tips. In this episode, I'm going to discuss to you one of my favorite business books of all time, Good to Great, written by Jim Collins. Goodreads rated it as number 3 on the top 100 best business books of all time. Simply a must-read for any business professional. And today I'm going to talk to you about maybe a summary of the book and some of my favorite takeaways that I've learned from the book. Good to Great was published in 2001, and Jim Collins and his team, their goal was to study and find companies that were average for a long period of time and then became great for a sustained period. And their sustained period was defined as 15 years. The companies, they studied 11 companies, and these companies outperformed the S&P 500 by a multiple of 3 cumulatively over a 15-year period. And the 15 years, the idea behind the 15 years was you couldn't be lucky for 15 years beating the S&P 500. There had to be some reasons for beating it. Now, the 11 companies that Jim Collins and his team studied were Abbott, Circuit City, Fannie Mae, Gillette, Kimberly-Clark, Kroger, Nucor Steel Corporation, Philip Morris, Pitney Bowes, Walgreens, and Wells Fargo. Now, a key thing that they focused on is these companies had to do great independent of their industry. So for instance, you could look at a tech industry like Microsoft or Apple, and it may have done great over a period of 15 years, but the entire tech industry did great over 15 years. So there was nothing inherently special about that company in particular. So all these companies did better than the S&P 500 times 3 for a period of 15 years, independent of his industry. And one key thing is Jim Collins and his team, they compared these companies to their competitors and broke out what they did differently compared to their competitors. So what are some things Jim Collins and his team found that made good companies great? One of the things is these companies focused on what should they start doing? What are the most important things that they need to focus on and start doing? But equally as important, these companies focused on things they needed to stop doing. Now, these are the things that are time suckers, things that just destroy and waste your day, that you spend hours in non-productive meetings or doing tasks that don't have a lot of value. These companies, they became laser focused. They focused on what do we need to start doing, and just as importantly, what do we need to stop doing that is not making us a great company. Good to great companies focused on first who, then what. These companies didn't focus on what they needed to do to become great. Rather, they focused on who do we need to get on the bus to become great. They focused on getting the right people on the bus, getting the top performers, the people that caught on to what the company was doing, the right people, the right analytical people, the right operations people. They focused on the people, getting the right people. But equally as important was getting the wrong people off the bus. These people are the complainers, these people that aren't willing to adapt, aren't willing to work hard. The people that just drain a company's ability to be great. Now, many companies say people are our most important asset. That's not exactly how these good to great companies focused. They focused on the right people are your most important asset. And actually, the wrong people are your greatest challenge or your greatest enemy. Another key takeaway from Good to Great is known as the hedgehog concept. This is a concept of extreme focus, where a hedgehog, when it's attacked, what it does is it get into a ball and nobody can attack it because it's got spikes next to it. These 3 key areas of the hedgehog concept are, number 1, what can you be the best in the world at? This for Kimberly-Clark. They focused before on just producing paper from scratch. And they quickly realized that they were not the best in the world at making paper. But they were the best in the world at making paper products, such as Kleenex and diapers and paper towels. The second concept is, what is your economic driver? What is your economic engine that drives your business? For Walgreens, they focused solely on profit per customer going into the store, trying to maximize the number of profit per customer, rather than focusing on profit per store. The third key point of the hedgehog concept is, what are you most passionate about? What gets you up in the morning and makes you proud to work for that company and to sell that product? These companies realized if they weren't passionate about a product, then they wouldn't dedicate the time and resources to make that product great. Good to great companies were companies that could have brutal truth and facts shared among the business, and they could adapt to the data and the facts of the business. Jim Collins, in Good to Great, summarized 4 key principles for facing the truth of your business and creating an environment where it was heard. Number 1 is lead with questions, not answers. Don't seek to answer a problem, but seek to understand the problem. Seek to ask questions and learn more about the problem in order to face it better. Number 2 was engage in dialogue, not coercion. Discuss the problem in depth. Oftentimes the best solution to a problem is not the first one heard or the second one heard. It's usually the 4th or 5th one heard, and it's a combination of everyone's input all together is the best solution. And rather than just a CEO just saying, I'm going to do it this way, I don't care what you think, it's a way to get the best solution for everyone involved. Another key one is conduct autopsies without blame. Now this is big. When a problem happens, something goes wrong that's unexpected, often people look to blame someone. They look to get someone on the hook. People can be too concerned with assigning blame rather than actually fixing the problem and working the problem. And that's something they found these Good to Great companies did excellently, is they worked a problem. They didn't, everyone was in it together. They didn't try to get someone on the hook for it, but they worked the problem diligently. The other one is build red flag mechanisms. Build things that show a red flag when things don't go wrong. Things that are key indicators on numbers, whether it be market share, whether it be customer satisfaction, whether it be quality. Build things to stop and take an extra second to think through what's going on and are we making the right decision? Are we going down a wrong path? You don't have groupthink. Stop before something majorly goes wrong. One of my final takeaways from Good to Great is known as the flywheel concept. Now, if you picture a flywheel, it's something that spins and spins and spins, and it's not one, it takes a lot of pushing, a lot of energy expelled to get that flywheel to keep going and going and going. The key with the Good to Great companies is it wasn't just one good push that made these and tipped these companies to be from good to great. It was many thousands upon thousands of hiring the right people, making good decisions about what products our customers want, when do we need to sell these products, what type of products. It was hundreds and thousands of situations and decisions that led to getting the company from good to great. It wasn't just, oh, let's hire a new CEO, let's change our corporate strategy, bam, we're a great company. No, it was hundreds of thousands of good decisions that led for it to be a good company. It's kind of like getting rich quick scheme. They don't really work. What happens is you get rich slowly. Make thousands of good decisions over a lifetime, and you could be wealthy at the end of it. That's a similar concept as the flywheel concept in Good to Great. Well, thanks for watching on my discussion of one of my favorite business books, Good to Great. Comment in the section below. Have you ever read the book? What were your favorite aspects of the book? Maybe comment on a book you would like me to review and to go over. This is certainly an amazing book, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Have a good day.